Hey, Jordan, it's David Hood with TigerNet. You put together 2 really good years over there at right tackle. What's it like working over at left tackle? I know you've cross-trained in the past, but, do you feel like that's a spot where do you feel like that's a spot where you can thrive at left tackle?
I do. I was just in high school, basically my whole football career, I've played left tackle, so it's not really necessarily new to me. And then, like you said, I've cross-trained here a little bit, playing both sides. So, I honestly feel like anywhere they put me on the offensive line, I thrive, honestly.
Was it your suggestion, or did Coach Caldwell, Coach Sweeney come to you to say, hey, let's try you over there on the left, or was it part of cross-training?
It was more so just one day, right before practice, Coach Caldwell was like, "Did you going to left there? Are you going to left today?" And I've been there ever since. So just kind of Coach Caldwell just playing with it, seeing who looks good where, and who has the best opportunity to thrive at each position.
Hey, Jordan, about how long have you been working at left tackle now?
I think this is maybe my third or fourth practice at left tackle, maybe. I can't remember exactly. It's either third or fourth. I can't remember the exact number at left.
Hey, Jordan, it's Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. Do you feel like the starters on the offensive line last season that y'all maybe got worn out a little bit towards the end, maybe around the time of that Notre Dame game? Y'all were playing a lot of snaps, more so than in the past.
I don't want to make excuse or anything, but I think that may have played a little bit of factor in it. But we just kind of got away from our old self, honestly, just technique things and just being overall nasty. But I do think playing a lot of snaps early in the season kind of, it just wears on your body. And I think by the time late in the season, guys are just, a little banged up and just nicks and bruises and kind of started to wear on us. So I definitely think that played a little bit of a factor.
Jordan, how would you evaluate where the offensive line is right now this spring as opposed to last spring, just as a whole, as a unit?
As a unit, I think we're so much better. Last year, as everyone knows, we didn't have much depth. We had a ton of young guys, and now those guys are growing up. Just seeing different guys every day. For instance, Marcus Tay has only had 3 or 4 practices, but he's been looking very good early, which is really good. And just across the offensive line, we have so much more depth compared to last year. And guys that can just go in and play with the first group and win games. So I'm super excited about that. And just as opposed to last year, it's so much night and day where the young guys are from last year.
Jordan, do you think Matt Bockhorst sort of, not being in live situations has been a blessing in that it's allowed some of the backup guys like Paul and others to get up and get some meaningful reps?
Yeah, I think, Matt being out has been low-key or kind of a blessing. Paul has pretty much taken all the live reps, Paul and Mason with first group. So them just getting that experience going against guys like Brian every day, Tyler, Davis, and guys like that every day is really preparing those guys to succeed in the long run. And I think, just building a ton of depth. Paul's learning so much. He's getting better day in and day out with technique things, just mentally, physically. He's getting stronger. He's getting better. So I definitely think Matt being out is a blessing for those young guys just to grow up a little bit.
Jordan, it's Trevor again. What are some of your early impressions of Ryan Linthicum?
No, he's a young guy, of course, and it takes a lot to learn. As it took me forever to learn, but I think he's coming on. He's a guy that wants to learn. He's a guy that wants to get better. He's a worker. He's strong. He's big, and I think he'll be a very special player throughout the years. I think you still have a ways, especially coming as an offensive lineman. You got a ways to go just to mentally get everything down, but physically, I think he's got the right stuff. I think he'll keep getting bigger. He'll keep getting stronger. And those are things to look forward to in the future. Just him improving. And once he gets it down mentally, I think he'll be a really, really good player.
Hey, Jordan, a question. Tell us what it is about Walker Parks that makes him stand out on the other side of the line like he has last year and the all the hype on him this year. Tell us if the hype real, and tell us all about what you know about Walker from the last couple of years of being in practice with him.
Nah, Walker is nasty. He wants to put people in the dirt, and you gotta love that from him. He's just an old-fashioned nasty guy. He's a hard worker. Me and him work together in the weight room, and Walker's one of the hardest working guys I've met through my whole life, and he's just a guy that just wants to constantly get better. He's constantly asking me questions on plays, how can he better his technique and different things like that. So I definitely think the hype is real. I think Walker is just going to keep getting better, keep grinding, keep getting bigger, keep working, and he has a really bright future to come in the next couple of years as well.
Hey, Jordan, it's Josh from Charleston. What's the most impressive thing you've seen Walker do in the weight room?
Just squatting. I don't know exactly how much he can squat, but he's strong. I'm telling you, his lower body is really strong. His power clean is pretty good too. I mean, I would say all three lifts, the main lifts that we do are pretty good. But he's just a guy that just wants to do extra in the weight room. He wants to outwork people, whether it's lifting or it's conditioning, whatever that may, just wants to outwork people.
Jordan, do you think Hunter Rayburn has made the most noticeable impression of the guys who were backups last year so far?
I do. I think so. I think him, and then Walker, of course, and then Paul Teo. But Hunter has really grown. He's getting, he's a big athletic guy, and just him getting that. He's this spring he's gotten a lot more that. He's moving people off the ball, just being more physical. His technique has gotten better. So overall, I would say Hunter has made great strides compared to where he was last year.
What do you think he could give the center position maybe that it maybe didn't have before?
Hunter, well, first of all, I think he understands offense pretty well. And then just him being a big body. He's just really big. I can't remember how big he is, but 6'4", 6'5", 320 something, 30 maybe. But, it's a big guy inside. He's just a big guy. And then him taking up space and moving people. I think we got a lot to look for in the future.
Jordan, this is Anna Hudson, 24/7. Dabo was super complimentary of the running backs in the scrimmage last Friday. Do you recall how many, I guess maybe 15, 20-plus yard runs were popped with the first team offensive line in there?
I can't remember the exact number, but I do think we had a good bit. But it's just a tribute to our running backs. They're running the ball hard. As we know, there's a lot of competition in that room. But each one of those guys, every time they touch the ball, they're making the most of their opportunities. They're getting better day by day. And I'm just, super impressed with each of them and how hard they're running the ball every day. They're just coming to work every single day and getting better.
Hey, Jordan, this is Todd Shaughnessy in Spartanburg. I wanted to ask you about Mason and what you've seen in his progression from last year to now.
Going to high school with Mason, he's always been a worker. He's always been a grinder. But I think, Mason really understands what we're doing. He's technically sound. His technique is really good. It's getting so much better as well. It's improving every day. But I think Mason's just one of those guys. He's not very big. But he just will outwork people. He's nasty. He wants to put people in the dirt as well. So I just think, Mason is going to keep getting better. He's going to keep going. I think he can help us across that offensive line as well.
He's got a tough battle on his hand holding off guys like Hunter, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he does for sure.
How about the brotherhood you guys have? Is it do you have that because you went to the same high school, or does that disappear when you get to college?
No, I think we've had that since college. We've all been friends. We played together for a while, and just knowing his family and how good of people they are, just being close to him and his brother in high school, that kind of translated to college. Mason's a guy I can communicate with at any time about anything. I think that our relationship has grown closer just coming to college with each other.
Jordan, Dabo said that Brazee does something special just about every day. Just curious, maybe how much different he is now, and how much does he stand out to you guys on the offensive line as far as being hard to block?
I hate, that I have to block him every day, but, you know, I love him being on my team. But just as last year, y'all saw him come out and dominate each and every week. And, you know, he's just continuing to get better. You know, he's getting bigger. But Brian's also one of those guys who will just outwork people. He's so quick. So he got a quick twitch getting off the ball. You know, and, you know, just shooting gaps and things like that, pass rushing. He's a guy that just constantly making plays each and every day. And, you know, I hate it at the moment, but that's what you love to see, especially from a guy like that. He's supposed to have a big impact each and every year, a young guy. But it's really impressive just to watch him on film, watch him practice each and every day. You know, it's really a blessing, honestly.
Anybody have anything else for Jordan?
Jordan, is there anything for you in particular when you look back at last year that you say, okay, I need to improve with this, or I need to improve with that?
You know, there's a couple things. Most importantly, I just want to be, you know, nastier, moving more people off the ball, putting people in the dirt, things like that. Just changing my mentality to not, you know, necessarily cocky, but being humble, knowing that I can do anything against anybody on the field, and just like technique things like in my pass set, just staying square, or, you know, where my hands are, my feet, my eyes, things like that. Just technical things I want to get better at. And that's what I've been working on each and every day I've been out here.
When you say you want to be more nasty, like how did you decide that you need to do that? How do you try to get that mindset?
You know, just watching film from last year, and then last game, it obviously didn't end the way that we wanted up front. And just looking at the opportunities that I had last year to just, you know, finish people. And it's just a mentality that no one's going to outwork me. And just developing that mentality in the weight room, you know, coming out on the field. You know, I'm an older guy, and, you know, those things are expected from me. I got to be a leader, and I got to lead by example. And the only way, you know, we're going to get better as an offensive line, I'm going to get physical and moving people with the ball as if I lead, you know. So that's been a big emphasis for me, just leading by example this spring.
Jordan, Thomas Austin was a pretty high-profile analyst addition in the offseason. What does he bring to the room?
He just, you know, he's very knowledgeable. He's an amazing person. First off, he's a guy you can talk to about anything off the field. You know, and I love having TA here, a guy that, you know, I met through recruiting, and he's done a great job at Georgia State. But, you know, I'm just glad to have him back, glad to have him being able to, you know, just give people that helping hand when they need it on and off the field, you know. So just glad he's back.
Anything else for Jordan? All right. Appreciate y'all joining us. Jordan, thank you for your time.
Sir.
Thanks, Jordan.